Do you ever wonder how to measure success after college? I've been thinking about that a lot lately. You think about it in all these years, all the years you were in college, and even before, from preschool, kindergarten through sixth, junior high, high school, and then college, you spend your whole life measuring your level of success based on a few things. Number one, your grades. Number two, popularity, maybe. What clique you fit into. Number three, the organizations and the activities that you're involved in. Maybe just being involved in that activity, like playing football, or maybe it's being president of a club, or a standout athlete. So there's a structure in place there where you can be like, yeah, you know what? I'm doing good. The problem I've run into is I'm now 4.5 years out of college. And I think really soon after I left college, I started having this sort of crisis because for me, I had 2 years of preschool. And then when I was like 4 or 5, I went to kindergarten. And from the time that I was 4 or 5 in kindergarten to graduating high school at 17 in 2003, yeah, I'm old, to my all my years in college, because I was Van Wilder. Maybe I should tell you guys that story someday, but I was an undergrad for 9 years, and I transferred twice, changed my major once. It's a long story, but I was in college for 9 years. So from 2003, when I graduated high school, to 2012, I was in college, and still based, I guess, my evaluation of myself on my grades primarily, and then secondarily organizations and friendships, things like that. So then you graduate, and like I said, I graduated in August 2012, and for a couple months after that, like I really had like an issue, like this existential crisis where I'm trying to figure out, okay, I had a great time in college, I was really successful. How do I continue that? And the thing is, I don't have a solid answer for that. And that's part of making this video is um, I think maybe over 4.5 years I've developed sort of a loose framework for what I think needs to happen. But I wonder what you guys think. And maybe it's not just post college. Maybe it's post college for some people, post high school for other people. Maybe post military, or post some point in your life where that structure system that you followed your entire life has fallen away. So the only thing that I can think of, because I sort of by choice have dropped out of the normal flow of things. I don't want to have a career. I want to be an entrepreneur and build my own life. I don't want I do want to get married, but only if I find the right girl, and well, I'm single, so waiting on that. Um, but I also like I don't want kids. So I think some people put their value of themselves into like their children, and how good their children's lives are. But I don't want that. So what do you judge your life by? And you guys know I complain a lot in my videos. But the reason that I complain is because by complaining it brings up reasons. And I use those reasons to formulate a plan in order to make my life better, to avoid those things that I'm complaining about, to get away from them and make them better. So the reason I'm complaining today about kind of being lost, not knowing what path to follow after college, is because I'm now 4.5 years out of college. It'll be 5 years in August of this year. I'm not as far along as I want to be. And like I said, I've kind of dropped out of the normal path of what people do after college. So the question becomes, How do I evaluate myself and find out, am I doing okay? Am I on track for this time out of college? Uh, you sort of use social media to compare yourself to peers, but at least in my case, my peers mostly have kids, or they're married, or they're married to their jobs. And those are all things I don't want. So how do I base that? And I have, like I said, I think a framework. Um, I think number one, am I happy? And I think that that is really something that people miss. You only get to live this one time, and you deserve to enjoy it. And if time's flying by because you spend all your time on your kids, or if you're at your job 70 hours a week, like that one I worked 2 years ago, you miss out on everything. And I have to ask myself, am I happy? Now, the current answer to that is no. I have some things that I need to work on. Um, you know, I've got some stuff going on I'll make a video about later involving my mom. But I've got job troubles, money troubles from the job troubles. Um, those are the only ones that come to mind right now, but I do have some other things going on. And I think once I work through those issues, I'll be in a much better place to be happy. But will I be truly happy? And that's the measure, I think, the first measure, the most important one, is, are you happy? And that's most of it, I think. If you're happy, then it doesn't really matter if you're on track with what other people are doing. Maybe you're like me and just chose to live a different lifestyle. So you can't really compare to everybody else. And if you're happy doing that, that's all that really matters as far as whether you're successful. Because you're successful taking this alternate route that you wanted to take. I think there's a sort of a secondary thing to happiness as well, though. And that is, am I sorry, I guess the secondary thing is happiness is like 98% of it. But the secondary thing would be, am I not only happy, but am I reasonably successful? And I say that because there are people that have a great gift, and that is to be happy and enjoy their lives despite shitty situations. And I wish that I could do that. But that is one of my great weaknesses. And I do think that it's a small number of people that learn to do that. But I know some of the poorest people back in West Virginia that live in log cabins or tar paper shacks, and they're some of the happiest people you'll ever meet. I don't think I could be happy with that. Um, I don't need a ton of money, but money is definitely a concern. Um, but despite being happy, do you feel like in your society or in that alternate lifestyle that you're choosing to live, are you reasonably successful? Do you have people, do you have a good support structure? Do you have a group of friends and family? Do you have enough money to pay your bills? I think that's secondary. And I know this is completely backward from Maslow's hierarchy. And I'm not set on any of this, so if you guys have opinions, let me know. I really am interested to hear how you guys, after college or after whatever it was that just kind of dropped you off into life with no plan, how you know you're going the right direction. How you know that you're not going too off track where you're going to look back and think, oh, well, I wasted my life. I think as I'm getting older, these are things I think about more. and I want to make sure to fix them now. I think, like I said, it took me 4.5 years after college to just get that framework down. Is, am I happy, and do I have these support structures of money, friends, family, possibly relationship? Um, what it comes down to is basically, do you have the first level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and are you happy? And I think that that is probably the closest, and I know that's a very loose interpretation, but I think that's the closest I can get to putting a framework around post college life. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is this something you guys struggled with too, or am I just crazy? Um, I know that I know to some extent some people have these problems because there's a thing called post grad problems, which is all about like issues you face after college. Um, but let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos of this type, like constructive planning kind of videos, hit the subscribe button. Bell me if you want all the notifications. I'm going to be posting weekly. I've been getting pretty good about that, and I'm going to continue that. Next week is going to be another video similar to this one. Not the same topic, but just a talking back and forth video with us. And then I have a big video planned for not next week, not next Sunday, but the Sunday after that. And I'm going to be presenting to you guys my business plan. And I apologize in advance. It's probably going to be a longer video than I normally make, but it's going to have a lot of good content. It's going to be really ambitious, and I think that you guys will enjoy it because it will tell you what I've been talking about this whole time about what I'm going to be doing. And I think that you guys can contribute to it if you want to. You can critique it. I think that it's going to be something that you really want to stay tuned for. So hit that subscribe button to get that. Let me know how you feel about this video. And if you've had any experiences like this, I'd really like to hear about it in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to check in with me next week, and I'll have a couple new videos for you coming up here soon.